Consorting with Spirits by Jason Miller. Controlled appearance is when a spirit manifests in a form that is negotiated between the sorcerer and the spirit, usually within the context of a conjuration or evocation, where the spirit is expected to appear either at the edge of a circle or in a scrying device, like a crystal or mirror. The key here is that while manifestations of spirits through resonance may be accompanied by omens and dreams, and spirit habitations may be accompanied by any number of communications from the spirit, controlled appearances are defined by the two-way communication between spirit and conjurer. The reason it is controlled appearance rather than just appearance is that the parameters for communication are set by the sorcerer, witch, or Magikian who is calling the spirit. Rather than allowing the spirit to show up however it likes, care is taken to request that it takes on a form that is not frightening to the operator. This method I have tried before, and it works. When I was about maybe 7 or 8 months into practicing consistently, I decided to call on the Great Duchess Bunye. And I remember the day that I had erected her altar, I consecrated it, and then I bought her offerings, and then, bought her a petition. In the petition, I mentioned to her, I said, listen, if you are going to present yourself to me, I request that you present yourself in a form that's not going to freak me the fuck out. Because that's where I was back then. At the time, I was not ready to see Bunye in the form that she has manifested to many other people in the past. Now, I call Bunye her because Bunye presented herself to me in the feminine. I remember the first thing that I read up on Bunye mentioned that Bunye originally was an African goddess. And so for me, Bunye is feminine. However, I understand that, spirits could they could assume any form that they desire. And that a lot of times, Bunye or Bun presents themselves in the masculine as well. So anyway, after, performing this ritual, I fell asleep a few hours later and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was laying in my bed and I had the covers, the blankets was completely over my head, but I could still see light emanating from, my hallway. And from my hallway, I heard a woman's voice say, "Hey," and then I woke up. And so I understood the dream to be Bunye communicating with me, letting me know, "Hey, I'm here. I heard your petition." And then after about 3 weeks to a month or so of working with Bunye, one morning I remember I was meditating. It was like morning going into the afternoon. And the image of a beautiful sister appeared in my mind's eye. She was caramel complexion, long black hair. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, who this fine ass sister? And then the thought came to my mind, Bunye. And that's how I knew it was Bunye. Now let me read y'all a line real quick from the Ars Goetia. Ars Goetia by Jim Pavlik. Bunye, the death drake, is a great, strong, and mighty duke of hell. He manifests himself as a great black dragon with 3 heads, a man's, a dog's, and a griffin's head. And next to the excerpt about Bunye, there is an image here that the author drew up of the Great Duchess Bunye, of the way that the Great Duchess Bunye presented herself to the artist, to the author of this book. Again, at the time, I was not ready to encounter a being that looked like this. It took a lot for me to get to the point that I was ready to even call on Bunye. But yeah, that was my experience. Anyway, this method works. Remember, you're the Magikian or the sorcerer or sorceress or the witch or the wizard. So if you need to set boundaries, go ahead, set your boundaries. And whatever spirits don't respect your boundaries, then that should be insight for you to know that maybe this is a spirit that you don't want to work with. That's all. Y'all be easy.